Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session on Vice President Public Relations. Today, we're going to be covering many topics. Today, I will be giving you an overview of what the VPPR does and what our role is in the club, and kind of like go through the handbook and tell you what the handbook says, and then also give you a little bit of feedback on the online environment, how that's changed it. Then we'll be handing over to Mary here, who will be covering the newsletter and things like that, and how she puts together her wonderful newsletters. And then later on, we'll have Nancy come in and explain branding and why branding is important and how to avoid branding issues and just everything that goes wrong with branding when you don't brand properly with Toastmasters International. So to begin, I'll share my screen. And we will start with, oh, there is that one. And then we will start with the handbook. So the Vice President Public Relations is going to be responsible to promote the club to the local community and notify media about our existence, benefits we provide. We update all the web content. We safeguard the brand when we use the branding. And it's our job to notify all worthy media outlets when we're doing something big. Quite like recently, we have been putting together an event called the Small Business Excellence event. And we have been promoting that through all available resources and such like that. So it's much the same for your clubs. When your club holds contests or speech contests or events like karaoke or poetry reading, things like that are just some of the examples I've seen. As the Vice President of Public Relations, it's your job to promote that and get people in, along with the Vice President membership who will be working towards gaining membership. You and that person should work together to help do that. And then as a Vice President PR, you'll find yourself writing the news releases, which is, I think, the newsletters as well. Creating and distributing the flyers, and whether that is print or digital, and maintaining the club's presence in the web and in the community. We also are the 4th ranking club officer, and we're responsible for developing and directing the publicity program that informs members and the general public about Toastmasters International as a whole and our club. And then we are the chair of the club's public relations committee if your club has a committee for that. So here are the key responsibilities that all public relations officers must go through. We must publicize our club internally and externally. So this could be anything from publishing the meeting times and the location, to creating the posters and the things necessary going forward to make the club better. And we create and update the club's social media channels such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can have a meetup to help garner that as well. And then you want to make sure that your club is distinguished apart from other clubs in the area and from Toastmasters International accounts. You'll also want to create a common username and password to share with all of the future officers to enable for change management. So just a couple of resources. LinkedIn allows you to network and share club news and information. Much like Facebook, but a little bit more in a business setting. And then Facebook. Facebook allows you to publicize what's happening in the club, such as contests, open houses, and you can share many things, pictures, videos. You can go live through Facebook. Like you can have if you're having a Zoom meeting, you can actually stream live to Facebook. And then you could post news announcements, stories, achievements from your members and through your club achievements, district achievements, things like that. So there is a Toastmasters International group, and there normally all districts do have a group. I know that in District 3, we do have a Facebook group as well. For Twitter, normally this is where you share quick little tips and tricks and things like that to help your club promote public speaking, leadership, and communication. And then you'll want to link your club's website or the club's Facebook page or whatever you're going to be using as a medium for your club. YouTube allows you to record things and post it on there for later viewing. So if your club has something, a big event that happened, or one of your speakers would like to share their speech with the world, a YouTube is a great way to do that. Like I know that most of our training sessions here will be later posted on the YouTube channel for further viewing for people who missed out or for new people coming in that may not have been able to attend this session. They'll be able to view it later and still get the great information. So YouTube is a great way to make yourself be creative and think outside the box. And YouTube is fairly simple. Meetup. Meetup is a great place where it's like a group thing. It's like when you have similar interests. So like our interest in Toastmasters mainly is public speaking, communication, and leadership. And so there are a lot of people out there that look for this kind of thing and may not know about Toastmasters. And if your club is properly put in Meetup, then your club could be found by one of those people who are searching, and they'll be able to join your club through that Meetup channel. Now, this next section I find to be highly important. You'll want to have a website or a medium that is like a website for membership and for your people to interact with the club, to get information about the club and things like that. You'll want to make sure that this information is always current and very easy to find so that you can check your club's status and make sure that everything is good. And then people who are interested will be able to easily find you. So your club should be listed in this link right here, the toastmasters.org/find-a-club. You should be able to find all of your information there. You'll want to edit this information in Club Central if it is not current. And then you can use the website as well to recognize achievements and educational awards and things like that. There is also, for the website, there is also a free Toast host, which is a way to get a website for Toastmasters. It helps you to create agendas each week and things like that. Has logins for members. So if you want to restrict your agendas to your members, you can do that. So that's a great way to kind of consolidate everything into a free website that's there for you and for you to use. So one of your big jobs is, in which Nancy will cover more later, is you'll maintain the integrity of Toastmasters brand in all you do. So if you use the logos and things like that, you'll want to make sure that they're on brand. And I won't get too far in depth with this because Nancy will speak about this later. And then, so the summary of this is that you'll verify all the club's themes, meeting times, and location. So a lot of us have themed meetings, which is really, it's a great way to make things creative. You can, from everything from the theme for the day to the posters to the table topics and everything, can all be very creative when you're theming the meetings. And then you'll find out how to order promotional materials. So if you want, if you're meeting in person and you want to hand out things to members or to people visiting, that's a great way to do that as well. You want to make sure that you post all the updates and the themes and the meeting times and celebratory posts, things like that. Make sure you post them on all of your social media channels, your website. Make sure you get those out and things like that. During club meetings, if you're in person, you're going to distribute promotional materials, things like that. You're going to make sure that you report the results of your efforts. And so normally this is like whenever you do newspaper articles or things like that, you'll want to bring that in to show to the club. And then you'll announce the commencement of any public relations campaigns. So these are like whenever we're doing membership drives, normally you work with your VP of membership on this. You'll create a campaign to advertise your club and market your club to the general public and bring in those members. It's much the same of online, except you won't be doing it in physical in person. You'll utilize more of those website and Facebook and Instagram more than you will actual printing things out. So with that being said, I wanted to go over to the AZ Toastmasters website, which is our district website, and show you a little bit, a briefly consolidated message on what we do. So we, as the public relations, are the image of the club. We attract the visitors to the club through free publicity. We use a variety of means to promote the club in the community or in our organization. So for this one, it's like we create posters, we create videos, and believe it or not, sometimes a Toastmasters meeting, like a competition or a poetry reading or a karaoke, is also a promotion. So those type of events are also great promotions, especially in your community and organization. For corporate clubs, it also is very dictated by the fact that you're going to need to get permission from your company to do many things. But if your company is normally on board with the whole idea of Toastmasters, they're normally willing to post things to their website and things like that. I know that in my corporate club, whenever we have an event or an activity, our company's very big on growth and learning. So they will actually post it across. They will send emails. Our HR sends emails to all of the associates in our company. So it's really great. We have a lot of support from that, but I know that some companies don't have that support. So you just have to utilize all the means possible that are available to you to be able to publicize. And one great tip, you work with many people, share it with your coworkers. You want to enlist your fellow club members in these PR activities. The role of public relations is very in-depth and can require a lot of time and effort. And one of the things that I suggest, and also Toastmasters International suggests, is grab a couple of people and create a committee. Like get a couple of members interested in who are interested in being creative and work together with them. Because 9 times out of 10, when you work together with other people, your ending becomes better. And so that the promotion becomes better and more people are behind it. So it feels more inspired. Next, you'll regularly, this is a big one. You'll want to recognize membership achievements with announcements and things like that. Newsletters, emails, and bulletin boards. You'll want to recognize member achievements inside and outside of the club. So like in my club, we're a corporate club. One of my clubs is a corporate club. And so whenever we have somebody who got a promotion or they've been recognized by the company for some achievement, we also recognize them within our club and on our club social medias and things of that such. And this can also be done with community clubs. So like if you're in a community club and one of your members is moving to a bigger house or they're having a wedding or things like that, it's okay to celebrate that with them. Because as in Toastmasters, we're sort of a family and we should celebrate all together. So I will stop sharing here as I've given you a brief overview of what the public relations officer does. So now I'm going to introduce Mary, and she's going to share with you her tips and tricks and secrets to how to put together a brilliant newsletter. Hi, Mary.
Hi, thank you so much. I appreciate all your help. We may repeat a little bit of each other, but I will definitely cover some of the items that I do in Toastmasters. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you so much for becoming Vice President of your public relations in your club. And thank you for attending today's TLI session. My name is Mary Jezwinski, and I am the Vice President of Public Relations for my club, Walkie Talkies Toastmasters in Phoenix. Although my club is an open club, many of the topics covered today can be adapted to closed or corporate clubs. This presentation is being recorded, so you can review it on the website or YouTube. I will try to answer any questions you may have either after this session or via an email. To give you some history, I was a newspaper reporter many years ago. So who, what, where, when, and why were the basics needed in the first sentence or two of any news article. It was my job. I didn't realize it back then, and that was in the 1960s, that I was actually working in what we now call public relations. I had to get acquainted with all the social and civic club members of the community, the school officials, the police, and the public officials, so I could properly report on and verify facts. If something was happening, everyone knew who to call, me. And if I was in an accident scene taking pictures, the officers were kind enough to alert me where not to step because they hadn't found all the bodies yet. Now, you may not have to run to a fire or accident as VPPR for your club, but you will be in charge of increasing your club's visibility in your community. There are many ways to do this. You don't have to have any professional experience in the field. There are lots of tutoring, training materials, tutorials are available on the Toastmaster.org website. We will want to build relationships with the news media. I know that's not always easy to do, but get to know your area newspaper and visit them at their office. Ask them who you can contact, what kind of information they need, and their deadlines. Sample news releases are available on Toastmasters.org. Go to Leadership Central, Club Central, Officer Training Resources. Newspapers also publish online, so you can also email them to introduce yourself. In promoting the benefits of Toastmasters and your club, check out area businesses that could profit from a speechcraft or special Toastmasters meeting. Share with them that Toastmasters create a community where members learn to join together on how to observe and challenge each other to become better speakers, leaders, and employees. And before leaving, don't forget to leave them a prospective membership packet. Stay current on all your developments, all the new trends, all the stuff that District 3's leader letter comes with, our International Toastmaster magazine, and any announcements published on the Toastmasters website and all the social media sites. Share that information with your club members during club meetings, in your newsletters, and send out special emails to your club members. Let's see, I wanted to talk more about promoting your club in your newsletter and staying current with your information from online sources. And also remind you that as VP of PR, you are a member of the club's executive committee. So this is the time now to go through and set up an open calendar, a calendar that will include all your annual club projects, such as open houses, membership drives, speech contests, and suggest new projects. List the projects in a spreadsheet by the week or month, showing project committee chairs and members, and who is in charge of various social media updates, newsletter articles, etc. Club calendar planning sessions will help organize your efforts to promote your club. Engage your members to attract new members. Your club could hold bring a guest contest. Give a gift certificate to a member who brings the most guests to meetings over a period of 1 to 2 months. These club activities can be posted then on your newsletter, in your website, and other social media sites. Our role as Vice President of Public Relations and our responsibilities are constantly growing in this virtual environment. Fortunately, there are lots of free resources available on the District 3 Toastmaster website and toastmasters.org. We hope to list a few of them for you in our handout. Online virtual meetings have opened the doors for Toastmasters to meet other people with the common interests across the country and the world. Last month, we had 3 visitors from India. It was great meeting them and having them participate in our meeting. Toastmasters program to visit other clubs via Zoom has created great experiences. Newsletters are where you can recognize individual members on their educational accomplishments and introduce new members. You are promoting enthusiasm in your club members simply by celebrating their accomplishments. I use the software called Publisher from Microsoft and save it to a PDF when sending it out via email to members. You could also use other software programs, PowerPoint, just Word, and set up different columns so you can make it look more like a newspaper article. Printed newsletters came before social media, and they are still here, but now we can also post articles on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and your club's website. Also list club activities on the district website calendar. Before, we had to travel around town to distribute flyers to businesses, stores, and schools. Now we can use email and social media. Public relations is the practice of creating, promoting, and maintaining a favorable image of Toastmasters through the use of a variety of communication channels and tools. Many Toastmaster flyers are available online, so you can personalize them with pictures of your own club members. Go to toastmasters.org/resources, and you'll also find the club marketing guide for open and corporate clubs. Now, change up your meeting agendas occasionally to add variety. Have an all table topics meeting, or a backwards meeting, or a function grab bag session, or invite outside speakers to speak to your club members. We have done that at Walkie Talkies, and we're surprised to find out that guest speakers were also former Toastmasters. It was a great chance to build relationships, and we could really appreciate their work ethic. Having guest speakers gave us a chance to generate outside interest in our club. It also generates free advertising in the form of newspaper articles about your event instead of paid ads. My club's newsletter is called the Walkie Talkie Tattler. We started it around 2004 or so and held a club newsletter naming contest. I've included a picture and maybe some of our newsletters in our handout. We also upgraded it in accordance with Toastmasters branding. Each newsletter lists all the basics about Toastmasters, the Toastmaster mission, our club leadership, club website info, monthly calendar, and Zoom meeting details. I use the newsletter to promote speech contests, officer elections, TLI, and conference events, member achievements, success stories, as well as a president's column. Other items that can be covered are speaking tips and proper use of English. New member introductions include their picture, why they joined Toastmasters, and their goals. With Zoom, it is necessary now to reach out to new members electronically. Building relationships electronically is more challenging than the old norm of meeting people individually. If possible, have new members sign up on your Zoom meeting early so you can have a face-to-face conversation. Be sure to welcome any guests and invite them to participate if they wish. Your newsletter and Toastmasters magazine can be printed to distribute to prospective members and included in membership packets. We have included a listing of what goes in each packet for your handout. Because of COVID, it's more efficient now to put the club's newsletter, membership form, and Toastmaster information in an electronic format so it can be emailed to the prospective member. Be sure to include the definition of meeting roles and functions and the Toastmasters mission. Always have your executive committee approve your club flyer before sending it out. 2 pairs of eyes are always better than 1. And if you are distributing flyers for an event, make enough copies to give to each member to post at their work and in their communities. Sharing information with your members on what you do as Vice President of Public Relations is one way to keep everyone apprised of where they can help. And don't forget to ask for help. Sharing projects with fellow members also helps members get mentored to take on the role of VP the following year. These are just a few things you can do as VP of PR. So rise up to the challenge to create new ways to promote Toastmasters and your club's goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary, for that wonderful presentation. And with that, we would like to transition over to Nancy, who will be giving a presentation on branding and why that is important. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nancy Duckett, Distinguished Toastmaster and 2021-22 Public Relations Manager for District 3. I am a member of Think Tank Toastmasters and have been a Toastmaster for 13 years. The goal for today is to demystify what branding is, why it's important, and offer some basic guidelines on using the Toastmasters International resources. Brand is our identity. It's what's unique about Toastmasters, who we are and why we matter. A brand is not just a logo, it's a consistent look, feel, and message. It's important because branding promotes recognition. It can change perception, influence performance, connect us with our audience while generating loyalty. We are all brand ambassadors. Understanding the importance of branding and ensuring consistency helps strengthen the Toastmasters brand. When someone recognizes our logo with "Where Leaders Are Made" or hears "Empowering individuals with personal and professional development," or sees smiling, friendly people with a lectern in front of them, we have strengthened Toastmasters. You know you can trust what Toastmasters is about when you witness the look, the feel, and the message consistently. You know there's value because of the message. Seeing the words "Where Leaders Are Made" is inspiring as you envision yourself as a leader. Who are we and why we matter generates loyalty. New members are attracted to a group that recognizes achievement, commitment to personal and professional development in a friendly and supportive environment. How do we sustain the recognition, trust, and inspiration that Toastmasters invokes? It's with consistency. Compliance with the brand guidelines ensures consistency across many clubs throughout the world, maintaining the look, the feel, and the messaging of the Toastmasters brand. As brand ambassadors, we help strengthen the Toastmasters brand by using the elements, the logo, the look, the feel, and messaging, consistent with the guidelines in the manual. No matter where you visit a club in Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, Prescott, maybe Payson, or virtually in the UK, New Zealand, India, maybe Boston or New York, you recognize the Toastmasters logo. You experience the same meeting structure, the same friendly welcome with a positive attitude and familiar programs. The experience is just as much a part of the brand as the logo. Toastmasters Leadership Institute helps us know how each officer role works in leading our clubs, while helping to grow leadership skills as we help each other. Ultimately, by seeing and experiencing the consistent brand we call Toastmasters, we build trust and loyalty. All of the brand elements we have been discussing may be found in the brand manual, and it has been updated. It's now easy to use and interactive. Now you can click on the table of contents or links in a PDF to access specific sections. This slide highlights the many elements in the brand manual. In the interest of time, we will provide a quick overview now and offer a future webinar to cover these elements in depth. Brand platform. You're familiar with the tagline, "Where leaders are made." You also know our core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence found on the coin. These core values are the guiding principles behind every decision. An easy way to remember the core values this year is Rise Up. You've already seen it associated with summer TLI. Rise up to education. Personality. You've seen it with how we interact with the audience at every touch point through internal communication, external media, social media, and in person. Voice and tone. Our voice shows confidence and compassion and professionalism. Our tone is positive, upbeat, and open to exchange. Remember our brand promise: empowering individuals with personal and professional development. We'll briefly cover aspects of visual guidelines in the next 3 slides, and then images and photos, followed by standards and procedures. The Toastmasters logo is probably the most recognizable element of the brand. Now you can download different logo options so you won't have to search for and do any cutting or pasting. Remember to leave a clear space around the logo, keeping the positioning intact, and refer to the brand manual for any guidelines on logo usage. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact the PR communications team. For those creating marketing materials for printing, you will find details in the manual for using gradient colors and transparencies, both new this year. The PR and communications team plan to offer a future webinar that will cover graphics in more detail. Fonts are very much a part of branding. There are free alternatives for the Toastmasters fonts that may be downloaded. However, Arial can be found on most systems and is a font that may be used for body copy. Things to consider as we create flyers and newsletters to promote our clubs. Avoid images that do not connect to the Toastmasters environment, such as portraying images of landscapes, animals, or children. Remember, you must be 18 years or older to join Toastmasters. Do not use cartoons, illustrations, or clip art in materials created for clubs, areas, divisions, district, or region. There's one exception. More latitude is given to districts for creating a look and feel for district conferences. Note, these are recommended guidelines. Consider that consistent branding strengthens the look, feel, and messaging of Toastmasters as we leverage the weight and recognition of a worldwide organization. As members, we know what Toastmasters stands for, but outside of our clubs, we want to maintain the consistency that leverages the strength of the Toastmasters brand. Of course, make sure you have permission to use any images in your materials, even club photos. Zoom screenshots included. You need to include media releases from all who are shown in those photos. Never use images protected by trademarks or copyrights. Here's a tip. New guidelines allow us to place the Toastmasters logo on images as long as there's a good contrast between the images and the logo. Handy images may be downloaded from the manual, saving you time, and they're all branded. Note that we are offering these guidelines to not only help clubs leverage and strengthen the brand with consistency, but to help clubs achieve their objectives for growing membership. Please refer to the brand manual for standards and procedures. If you have further questions, don't hesitate to contact the PR communications team. Your resources for information or questions about branding, public relations, or communication. Nancy Duckett, Public Relations Manager. Christy Hopper, Social Media and Graphics Chair. The Toastmasters Brand Portal, or the Toastmasters Brand Manual. And here's a tip. You can type the brand manual into the search feature on toastmasters.org and access the manual that way. Another tip, consider joining the VP Public Relations Facebook group with Toastmasters from across the world. Great ideas come from that group. We are here to help. Thank you.